Alright. So kita dah sembang dengan Vesco ni. Okay. So kita banyak sangat apa kata apa quest tambahan. So kita kena ada investigate the experience of the not novice. Kita ada heretic hunt. Kita ada coin guard merchandise. Of course kita ada quest baru. So aku akan buat ni dulu. The experience of among the nots ni. Boom. Okay. So yeah, let's go. Tengok dekat mana. Tapi investigate kan. Tak tahu macam mana kita nak investigate. Sekejap, apa saya jalan. Macam biasa, aku kurang ngerti dengan dia punya map. Aku nak baca map. Oh, situ je kita nampak dah. Jom. Man, dia punya bandar dia macam serabut tau. Aku tak tahu asal. Banyak gila partition. Sorry bang. Faham. Right, search the small place below me. Kat mana? Tak apa, pekan dulu. Alright. So, kita buka ni dulu. Boom. Itu ada je, tak hilang pun. Ni siapa? Oh, Flavia.
Good day. Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who has gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Oh, maybe member dia kot. Member rapat dia ke macam mana kan? Ask about Captain Vesco.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
Wow, dia 25. Asal aku nampak macam begitu dia. Pasal cabin boy, okay. Dia kena tanya dia bila last time.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Why? I haven't the faintest idea.
Alah, kita suruh meneka-neka pun tak nak. Apalah. Have you shooting comics?
What does Jonas do in his free time when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Oh. Dia sebab dia tak banyak duit ke macam mana? About his friend?
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Usianya tak ada kawan. Alah. Wah. Apa jadi member dia?
Do
Enemy?
you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
Oh. So dia pernah berangan ke pasal Loro tu.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Okay, so literally aku tak dapat apa-apa pun daripada dia. Oh, Smuggler's Journal. I have the new clients. They want to go to outside and the Inquisitors are on their heels, which would not make my job any easier. I think I can get them onto a ship inconspicuously, but we will have to be cautious, and I hope that they will prove patient and discreet. I will hide them away in a warehouse behind the humble office, where the Inquisitors will never dare to enter. Like literally dia tulis kat journal? Seriously? Ah, okay. Oh, alright. Good. Oh, sailor's cool. Okay. It's not kan sailor. So kita, bila kita ada sailor punya code, adakah kita akan jadi not? Berjayakah aku? Aha! Aku jadi not, guys. Mantap. Alright, so aku patut save kat sini sebab aku buat benda-benda yang tak sepatutnya aku buat. Let's go. Okay, so kita buat apa sekarang? Investigate. Yes, investigate. Kita tak jumpa lagi. Okay, kita keluar juga. Buat water. Sekejap, sabar. Ini. Ada orang ah? Ni ke Loro? Loro? Yes, betul.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Dia macam takut betul eh. Dia tak hilang bang, dia tak hilang. Captain Vasco.
What do you think about Captain Basco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Ya, dia memahami perasaan orang sebenarnya. Ask what he knows.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Alright. So that's why lah. Pula kan. Silap lah pun. Dia pun kaki mabuk juga kan. Ask about the cabin boy. State of mind.
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Logik lah. Kan. Orang tengah kena culik kan. Kau tahu tak apa yang kena fikir masa culik tu kan macam. Action.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Sa? Dia yang culik ikut.
Thank you, Laro. I need to be going.
Strange story this is.
Something isn't right here. I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
Alright. So kita pun pergi ke witness. Mana witness tu? Sini ke? Heaven. Alright, let's go. Lari dan lari lagi. Tapi game ni tak ada ni ke? Macam like portal ke fast travel ke? Buat malas kan? Padahal beberapa kaki je. Jom. Aha! Mana witness? In GreedFall, a quest can usually be completed in several different ways. Oh, Desade has more than one string to his bow: cunning, persuasion, intuition, corruption, create the item from the crafting table, will be some of the means available to you to reach your goals. To improve in these areas, spare points in the corresponding territory or where the equipment that offers bonuses. Threats and combat are also options when your enemies are not receptive to your talents. Faham? So, tak semestinya macam contoh kalau sains tu kita kena up sains. So, kita boleh buka pakai baju sains. Banget. Alright, so I guess kita kena save lah dulu kot setiap kali kita sembang macam tu. Okay. So, sembangan dia. GreedFall.
Tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
Tak apa, baik apa. Aku datang kau minum. Tanya pasal konsep tu.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age? Hair down to his neck, light brown? Blue eyes? Quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Okay. So, kita ada duit. Kita bayar je lah. 25 je pun. Faham?
Here you are, to cover your expenses.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint? Anything else?
Betul lah. Kita dah lah ada nak cari orang lain nak kena selamatkan. Kita pun nak hilang juga. Bagus. Okay, sekarang kita go untuk cabin boy pula. Ask him about the cabin.
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A naught, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Okay. Tanya pasal witness.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Alright, itu je. Bye-bye.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Alright. Okay. So, dia kata, oh, dia takkan tinggalkan meja dia. Like, literally, dia tak ada meja pun, Mat. Dia berdiri je lah. Meja di mana?
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Ask about the cabin boy.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Dah, ni sebab dia kena penyakit tu aku kan. Aku tak tahu pula kena penyakit tu dia just boleh jalan-jalan. Sebab aku ingat benda tu kan macam outbreak kan. Macam dia boleh jalan, dia tak kena quarantine ke? Alright, that's what happened during the evening.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Dia buat dia je lain kot. Tak kata rough pun. Right, as for more information.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Taleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Okay, tak salah untuk kita tengok. Jom. Alright. So, aku rasa kita akan settlekan mission ni dulu sampai habis. Kat mana orang tu? Dia kata stone throw daripada... Alright. Mas. Bau betul dia punya stone throw. Tak pakai sini. Aku dah lupa macam nak jalan kat dia. Patah balik. Sekejap. Okay. Jom. Kita akan cuba untuk pergi sana. Macam mana diorang buat ni? Aku impressed tu dengan bandar-bandar diorang. Bang, tepi bang. Oh betul. Betul. Tepi. Tengah nak cepat ni. Kan? So aku tak tahu macam mana diorang like. Biar pokok besar tu. Pokok besar, pokok mati. Jom kita buat pagar weh, cantik kan. Aku tak tahu apa macam dia. Anyway, maybe lah ada masa-masa pegah dia kan.
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Enter please. Pada kita dah masuk lah kan. Dah ada jejak lah. Kita buka pintu pun. Tak buka ni. Dia tak kunci pintu kan. Macam aku nak. Oh. Lama. Betul kaya lah dia ni. Sekejap. Kena tukar baju. Pakai baju cantik sikit. Okay. Kan? Baru nampak macam kaya. Orang kaya. Cakap dengan orang kaya.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lady de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
Serius lah dia dapat anak dia balik. Apa yang jadi ni? Ini betul-betul drama tu hujung ni.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly.
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement. And it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Lepas tu, tahu juga macam mana dia ni. Macam mana dia orang tu jumpa anak dia kan. Nak ni. Ask how they found their son.
How did you find your son's trail?
We have never stopped looking for him. We learned the new name they gave him, Jonas. My poor little Celestine. Then we learned the name of the ship he sailed on. No sooner had it docked in Serene than my husband had the crew watched closely, and we found him.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Naughts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Naughts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
I see. So kemungkinan not tu pun satu hal juga kan. Pun mungkin dia menculik orang ke apa semua kan. So learn more about not contract. Okay, kita dah boleh tukar baju. Kak, pinjam bilik kak. Tukar baju. Alright, awesome. Okay, so kita akan pergi ke learn more about not contracts. Kat mana? Kat ni, kita keluar dulu. Keluar rumah mewah ni. Tak ada duduk dalam pun. Nanti aku terjoin rumah ni. Jauh. Kita sembang balik dengan Vasco. Tak tahu kenapa. Last time sembang dengan Vasco, sembang meriau. Macam member lama tak jumpa. Lama gila. Patah balik. Struggle weh. Nak patah balik pun. Dah. Pergi ke mana ni? Serius? Okay. Aku pula tak hati sangat baca dia punya kompas kat atas tu. Sebab ya, jalan dia pelik-pelik kan. Kadang-kadang kalau kompas pun dia tak tunjuk straight forward. Okay. Tak apa. Lepas macam boleh dah ni. Saya sampai dah. Nice. Port quarter. Boom. Hey, Vasco.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
Okay, Fire Maiden Fontaine.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Naughts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naught. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Hey.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us?
It's Mr.
Anyone who's not a Naught?
Discussion.
Sir de Corsilion is a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
Discussion. Macam sebut. Ni ke? Masya Allah. Tak boleh nak jumpa dia. Oh, okay. Aku dah pakai je lain. Ya, anyway. Mana? Tak tahu macam nak jumpa dia. Precaution tu kat mana, Mat? Oh, atas tu.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
Alright. So, support contract.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Oh, faham. Bisa sanggup ni jual anak demi harta. Ingat zaman sekarang teruk. Zaman dulu lagi teruk pun rupanya.